Very often when going for optimized meta sets, what you will find is that some of your personal favorite skills will be missing, and when hunting these anomaly monsters, one mistake and you're dead. But what if I told you there is a build that is both incredibly effective, staying true to the new meta of Sunbreak, and taking advantage of the new meta skills? But it is also quite comfy, having the utility skills we all like to add to our sets, like the newly introduced Defiance or Spirit Bird Skull. And the best part is, it works for many different weapons. And you don't need any RNG with Talisman or Curio crafting to make the perfect set. Of course, if you get a god roll, you'll be able to slot in more skills. This is my absolute favorite set in Sunbreak. It really is a blast to use and I'm so excited to share it with you all. I'll be showing 3 different variations of this set, one that has 100% affinity, the second one has a bit more damage, and the third one will be the one with the best in slot talismans and curious crafting augments, truly breaking the meta with this one. With that being said, my name is Dark Hero and let's get started. Look at these numbers and tell me, what weapon am I using? Well, you can see the dual blades right there, but you'd be forgiven for thinking otherwise, as these damage numbers are quite ridiculous. And again, you'll be able to output this much damage consistently with dual blades and even other weapons. But this build requires some explanation first, but I promise it'll be worth it. With this set, you can reliably and consistently maintain over 520 attack, in this case reaching 524, while the build uses a lot of the newly added skills in the first free title update. It mostly revolves around the elusive Nargacuga skill, Adrenaline Rush. This skill works very similarly to how the Evasion Mantle used to work back in Monster Hunter World. After successfully performing a well-timed evade, you gain a temporary buff that lasts 30 seconds, providing 10 attack at level 1, 15 attack at level 2, and 30 attack at level 3. And that's a crazy amount. Not all weapons can take advantage of this, however. It's not like you'll be spamming dodge rolls with a greatsword or anything. The 4 weapons that best take advantage of Adrenaline Rush are, of course, bow and dual blades, but also the longsword and, surprisingly, the switch axe. Keep in mind that only perfect evades counter to trigger Adrenaline Rush, so the switch axe burst counter all the 4 longsword counters, Shrouded Vault and Wire Step, do not trigger Adrenaline Rush. You'll have to do an actual evade or perform a well-timed switch skill swapping dodge. For the dual blades and bow, this is quite the easy matter, but for the other 2, it's a bit trickier. Switch axe works a lot better with this skill than I had initially expected, as you'll be doing a lot of hops throughout the hunt, and many switch axe mains like to add at least 1 point of evade extender, so combining that with the elusive Nargacuga pieces, you'll be able to proc Adrenaline Rush a lot more frequently than you would probably expect, and of course, you can go straight into a boosted finishing discharge, followed by a Soaring Wyvern Blade for a lot of damage. For the longsword, you'll be able to proc Adrenaline Rush by sidestepping while using Sacred Sheath counter. You can remain in this stance for as long as you want, and you regain stamina naturally, so you can pretty much guarantee you'll be able to dodge an attack and then land your big finishing move. While this is pretty much the only time you'll be triggering Adrenaline Rush, you now have a lot of tools to level up the Spirit Gauge to red very quickly, and then prepare to unleash a Sacred Sheath counter boosted by Adrenaline Rush. This being the longsword's strongest move, that 30 extra attack is going to do a lot for you. And of course, you should try to complement this build with specific skills like Bow Charge Plus for the bow, Quick Sheath for the longsword, or Rapid Morph for switch axe. That being said, we're using the dual blades as a base template for these builds. But let's leave the dual blades of choice for last, as they are the least important component of the set. The skill Adrenaline Rush can only be found in the Lusa Nargacuga armor set. There are currently no Adrenaline Rush decorations, and as far as I know, even after hundreds of augmentations, I've yet to see it appear in Curious Crafting, so we'll need to take both the Lucent Argakuga Vambraces and Greaves. The Vambraces in particular are very efficient given that they come with Adrenaline Rush level 2 and Evade Window level 3, which is going to make it a lot easier for us to perform a perfectly timed evade. They also come with 2 level 2 slots, so you'll be able to add essential skills to the set. However, the Lucent Gators, the Greaves, aren't a very good piece unfortunately. They come with a single level 3 slot, and it also has Sneak Attack level 1, Adrenaline Rush level 1, Handicraft level 2, and Ammo Up level 2. Handicraft is actually going to be quite useful when it comes to weapon selection, which I'll talk about in a moment. And of course we need Adrenaline Rush in order to get that 30 extra attack, and Sneak Attack is one of the newly introduced skills in the Sunbreak title update that is going to increase your attack by 5% whenever you hit the monster from behind. Proccing this skill isn't too reliable, and it is definitely easier to proc in multiplayer. However, the game is very generous with Sneak Attack, given that a lot of times when you are attacking the monster from the side, you are still going to get the bonus from Sneak Attack. Now that I've talked about 2 of the pieces we're going to be using in this set, let's go over the rest of the armor pieces. For the helmet, we're using the good old Kaiser Crown X. It comes with Critical Eye level 3, Critical Boost level 1, and 3 level 1 slots. The Silver Rathalos chest piece, we're using this piece mostly because of Element Exploit. At level 1, this skill is still going to benefit you greatly whenever you're using an elemental weapon, which is going to be the case. It also comes with Critical Element, which will also be boosting our elemental damage. Fire Attack level 3 is going to help you if you choose to use a fire weapon. However, even if you don't want to use a fire elemental weapon, you should still use this chest piece because it is highly efficient, coming with a level 4 slot, a level 3 slot, and a level 1 slot, and Element Exploit is only accessible through the Silver Rathalos pieces, and out of the 3 pieces to choose from, the chest piece is definitely the better one to use. We've already talked about the Lucent Argakuga Vambraces. For the waist, we're using the Archfiend Armor Waist. It comes with a level 4 slot, Weakness Exploit level 1, and Chain Crit level 2. Chain Crit is one of those skills that is going to benefit you greatly, and it will help increase the damage of your build. It is, however, a skill that is currently unobtainable through decorations, so it is important that we get these 2 points in Chain Crit through this armor piece alone. And of course, Weakness Exploit is an essential skill for any build. For the Talisman, as you can see, I have a very plain Talisman. I believe I've had this one since base Rise. It comes with Attack Boost level 3 and Hunger Resistance level 3, which we don't really need. All we care about in this Talisman is Attack Boost and a level 2 decoration slot. For this build, I chose to go with the Wyvern Strife Dual Blades, the Silver Rathalos Dual Blades, because with this weapon, you'll be able to reach 100% affinity if you augment its Rampage slot to level 3 and equip the Kushala Daora Soul Rampage decoration, which is going to increase your affinity by 15%. So just with this one decoration and your base 20% affinity, you'll be starting off with 35% affinity. As you can see, we have slotted 4 attack boost decorations to get attack boost level 7, 2 level 1 blaze decorations to get fire attack level 5, we get critical eye level 3 from the helmet alone, but this 15% affinity is going to be enough to reach 100% affinity. We have a couple of critical decorations to get critical boost level 3, Evade Window level 3 comes from the Vambraces, Adrenaline Rush level 3 of course comes from the Lucent Argakuga set, and we also get Handicraft and Ammo Up from the Lucent Argakuga Greaves. We also get Chain Crit level 2, Critical Element level 1, Sneak Attack level 1, and Element Exploit level 1. I also have Flinch Free level 1, and Free Meal level 3, these are all from the spare level 1 slots that I had. And of course, if you want to use a weapon of a different element, all you'll have to do is remove these quality of life skills and add, let's say for example, Frost decorations to get Ice Attack level 5. And there you go, it's as simple as that. However, if you choose to use a fire weapon like I had earlier, The cool thing about it is you'll have spare level 1 slots to add skills like Defiance, which is a very good skill in my opinion that a lot of people are sleeping on. Definitely one of the better utility skills in the game. Or Spirit Bird's Call, because if you're someone like me that dislikes picking up the Spirit Birds, then this is going to just do it for you. My second variation of this build is one that is pretty much the same, but the Wyvern Strife Dual Blades, it uses the Flaming Wyvern Lovers. This is for a couple of reasons. The first one is that because of the augmentation, you are able to increase its attack by 10 and also its fire element by 3. With this, you end up with a weapon with 320 base attack, purple sharpness, and 54 fire element. It combines really well with this build because the Lucinorgekuga Greaves actually come with 2 points of handicraft, which makes it so that we have plenty of purple sharpness to go through with dual blades. As with the Iron Shine Silkbind, you regain some sharpness back, and it doesn't even need to be a perfect evade. Using Shrouded Vault actually works, but since we have a build that revolves around evading and we already have Evade Window level 3, I think the build just really comes together with these dual blades right here. They also have a Rampage slot level 3, which allows us to use the Kushala Dora Soul Decoration, which of course is going to give us 15% extra affinity. The problem with this build, however, is that we don't actually get to reach 100% affinity. We get 15% affinity from Critical Eye level 3, which combines with the Kushala Dora Rampage Decoration, we are at 30% affinity, and then we add Weakness Exploit level 3, so that is 80% affinity. It's still a bit ways off from 100%. If you go with these dual blades, I do recommend bringing a Fighter Palico so that you have the Skill Browsing Roar proc, and that is going to give you extra affinity. And of course, this is all before you add any sort of curious crafting augmentations, or if you have a better charm, then maybe you can raise your critical eye even more. And of course, here we have another version of that same build, using the Kushala Dora's dual blade, so an example of what it would look like when using a weapon with a different element. Again, we do keep fire attack level 3 from the chest piece, and you still end up with a couple of level 1 slots left to add the quality of life skills you may find necessary. And now here is the third variation of this build that is pretty much optimized, and we're going to be talking about the best in slot augments as well as curio crafting. So as you can see, these are pretty much the same exact skills that I had before. What is cool here is I do get Chain Crit level 3, which is a big boost in damage, and I also get a Fade Extender, which is a really nice quality of life for this sort of playstyle. I got a Fade Extender level 1 as well as the upgrade to a level 2 slot on the Kaiser Crown helmet as part of the curio crafting. And Fade Extender is really cool for this playstyle because what ends up happening a lot of times is you do actually successfully perfect dodge an attack from a monster, and you do see the message pop up that you have activated Adrenaline Rush, but you still get hit by a follow-up attack, or because the attack has a follow-up AoE or something of the like. You are not able to cover enough distance between where you started to dodge the attack and where you end up after the dodge iframes end. You are still going to get hit by the attack unless it's a very small attack. So what this means is that you can dodge projectiles very easily, but some physical attacks, especially some big dive bombs, you are not able to dodge them as easily with just a regular dodge. But a Fade Extender, at least at level 1, has been helping me a lot with that, so I'm very happy about this augment. I also got Weakness Exploit level 1 on the Lucinorgekuga Vambraces, which of course is a fantastic skill, which means I have room to add more stuff. And as you can see here on the Lucinorgekuga Greaves, I also got another fantastic augment that gives me Chain Crit level 1 and a level 1 decoration slot. Again, Chain Crit is one of those skills that is unobtainable through decorations, so it is phenomenal that you are able to get it through here, so you are not, let's say, obligated to use the Archfiend Waste in order to get the skill. And so I am able to equip the Rathalos Coil Waste, which is really good, coming with attack boost 2 and critical boost level 1, and has a level 2 slot, and I got a really good augment as well, giving me critical eye level 1. and so I was able to swap out my attack boost talisman that is still pretty good, but it isn't amazing, having hunger resistance, not really that useful, and I swapped it for this one that comes with critical boost 2 and chain crit 2 with a level 3 slot and 2 level 1 slots. With this set as it is, I do believe I do overcap on critical boost by 1, but having chain crit level 3 is just phenomenal. The Silver Rattles augment, as you can see right here, I got the upgrade from a level 3 decoration slot to a level 4 and from a level 1 to a level 2, which is still really good, don't get me wrong. I do lose 1 level of fire attack, which is okay, it's only a level 1 slot, and I also get Marathon Runner, which isn't particularly amazing, but actually works decently with this build because we do need stamina to perform those dashes. But to be honest, I'm really happy with how this build has come out. I've spent hundreds of the anomaly investigation materials, and I've had to restart the game to save scum a whole bunch, and I don't think I have enough willpower to change the augmentations that I have on this chest piece right here. So as you can see, all in all, I end up with attack boost 7, critical eye 7, fire attack boost 5, critical boost 3, weakness exploit 3, windproof 3, which is a bit more of a bonus, evade window 3, which just comes from the armor pieces, adrenaline rush 3, same thing, chain crit level 3, which is because of that augment and the talisman, handicraft level 2, and ammo up level 2 because of the Illusionaria Kuga Greaves, critical element level 1, evade extender level 1, sneak attack level 1, and element exploit level 1, and I still have these 2 level 1 slots to mess around with, and what I think I'm going to do is add Defiance and Spirit Bird Skull. Again, we're talking about having a god roll on the talisman and also the augments, and there's even some improvement that can be done here, but this build, as I said earlier, is my absolute favorite build in Sunbreak. It is very easy to use, it has utility in simply being able to avoid the monster's attacks, and also getting stronger by doing so, and this build can also work quite well with longsword, switch axe, and even the bow. I'm still looking forward to optimizing the build for all of those 3 weapons, I'm still working on that. I'll also have a build very soon showcasing status trigger from the Golden Rathian set, and how you can abuse it to pretty much make it so that the monsters have no chance of fighting against you. That build is so much fun. I was initially going to have a different version for this build that included Bubbly Dance, however I felt like I was sacrificing too many powerful skills in order to add Bubble Dance as well as Coalescence, and it just didn't feel as good in the end, which was a bit sad. But if you guys have any ideas on how to improve that build and also add Bubbly Dance and Coalescence, let me know in the comments section below. With that being said, thank you all so much for watching, my name is Dark Hero, and as always, happy hunting!